This is our Christmas program. And today we are asking you, where were you when you heard it? We know it's Christmas time. Christmas is coming this year to a world that's on the brink of war. The message: peace on earth, goodwill toward men. The message: the good news: the Savior is born. Today's program is being made possible with gratitude from the Roth Funeral Home, located at 2936 Northeast 36th Street here in Oklahoma City. You may call the Roths if you need any help in planning for the thing that must happen eventually. Call the Roth Funeral Home, 424-4136. If you need to get some automobile parts, remember, you can do it all at Soloway's, Northeast Oklahoma City. But are you looking for that one-of-a-kind, knock-him-dead outfit for the holidays? I want you to go and take a look in the clothes closet. The clothes closet is located at 1917 Northeast 24th Street in the Petite Salon. This salon offers the ladies' informal, professional, and casual wear. They also have a unique collection of scarves, hats, purses, hose, and jewelry. You need that personal touch. Come by for your personal consultation and let the clothes closet dress you from head to toe this holiday season. Remember the address? 1917 Northeast 24th Street. Thank you. You have made our holiday a special holiday, and this comes from Car Carbon, your real estate dealer located at 1242 Northeast 34th Street here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and this is our Christmas special. We will give you the opportunity today to call us if you want to extend Christmas greetings to a special person. I wish I had the time to call the names of all of you from all over the state of Oklahoma that have been so kind, so sweet to me. You've sent me Christmas cards. You've given me gifts, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you because you remembered me during this season, and certainly I remember you every day. I would like to thank all of you, says Robert Gates, at the Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. A barbershop in which the managers say, "We make people beautiful. We will design your haircut any way that you want to. We want to make you beautiful." We are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays. Remember the address is 2609 North Martin Luther King Boulevard. You don't have to call in for an appointment. Just come on in and take your turn. Wilbur Miles, Willie Gamba, and Robert L. Gates. Today's program is being made possible by those that sponsor the Clara Luper radio show. For example, if you want to make sure that your child is well taken care of, oh, it's so simple. All you have to do is to call Johnson's Shardina's Daycare Center and Preschool. Now, by preschool, it simply means that your child is taught ABCs, your child is taught how to read, how to relate, your child is taught the basic principles of math, and you have two centers. One is at 1643 Northeast 50th Street. The telephone number is 424-4656. Or at 2611 North Martin Luther King, the telephone number is 427-5274. That's the Johnson Shardina's Daycare Center and Preschool. Mrs. Gloria Mathis has dedicated her whole life to the preservations of character of education and of service. Be sure and tell her that you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. Congratulations to those college graduates. No, they aren't graduates. Those college students that are home for Christmas. And I would like to say Merry Christmas to all of you college students. You're looking good, and you're supposed to look good. You're the first generation that we have that can go deep into education and come out with flying colors. Smickler's is a place to buy your automobile. Now, Smickler's has some special deals, according to Leon C. Hicks. Smickler's is located at Northwest 52nd and North May Avenue here in Oklahoma City. Leon C. Hicks says thank you because you have come out. You have looked at over 500 Chevrolets, Buicks, and Geos. The telephone number out there is 943-5721. Now, don't forget, when you go out, be sure and tell Leon C. Hicks how much you appreciate the fact that he is making this program possible. That's Leon C. Hicks of Smickler's, located northwest of 52nd and North May Avenue here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It happened. They didn't think it would happen, but it happened. Eddie Stamps defeated Leslie Brown for the vice president of NACP, the first vice president. You ask me how it happened. It happened the same way that Thomas Jefferson defeated Aaron Burr. It happened the same way that other candidates have been defeated. And today I would like to congratulate Eddie Stamps for being the first vice president of NAACP. Now, no one ran against Roosevelt Milton this year, and therefore I would like to congratulate Roosevelt Milton. But I want to re-congratulate Eddie Stamps. Eddie Stamps, the first vice president. When I see Eddie, I'm going to say, how are you, Mr. Vice President? Because anytime you defeat Leslie Brown, you're going some. Now, the NACP has certainly honored Leslie Brown through the years. Leslie Brown has served ably as the president of NACP. He has served as vice president of the NACP. He has served as chairman of various committees in the NACP and has done well. But then he ran against the mountain when he ran against Eddie Stamps. Eddie Stamps beat him. And I know many of you out there want to know how many votes did Eddie Stamps beat him by. I want to tell you. Eddie Stamps defeated Leslie Brown by 2 votes. 2 votes. This is the Clara Luper radio show telling you that you can get some flowers at Exotic Florists and Plants located at 3671 North Everett Street here in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 424-7659 or 396-8427. The Exotic Florist and Plants. You may order your Christmas plants, and you can order them now, and they will be delivered to you in the next 30 minutes at the Exotic Florist and Plants, located at 3671 North Everett Street here in Oklahoma City. Where are you going to have Christmas dinner? You're saying it's none of my business? It is my business. I want to make sure that I know where you're going to have Christmas dinner. Well, I know one thing. The Langston Food Mark is located at Langston, Oklahoma, east on Highway 33. They serve that classic barbecue, hickory smoked to your taste. They have a full line of groceries, a full line of meat, open from 8 to 12, Mondays through Thursday, from 8 to 2, Fridays and Saturdays, 8 to 10 on Sundays. And Larry and Emmett Millhouse extend to each one of you season's greetings and wish for you happiness, joy, and contentment during this season. Merry Christmas to you. From Dr. L. Dial at 934 Northeast 8th Street. The telephone number is 235-0536. Dr. A.L. Dial says to each one of you, I thank you for your business. And you're going to be able to see how to open those Christmas gifts because he's going to put the right eyeglasses on your beautiful eyes. Dr. A.L. Dial at 934 Northeast 8th Street here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's Christmas time, and it's time for you to make plans for that big Christmas dinner. What do you want for Christmas? I tell you what I would really like to have for Christmas. I would like to have a good egg custard. I've tried to make egg custards, but when the harder I try, the worse I get. My egg custards always leave water at the bottom of the pan. And I wish someone would call me out here and tell me how to make an egg custard. The telephone number is 672-1220. And if you tell me how to make an egg custard, I will tell you how to make a bread pudding. I can make a bread pudding so good that it will make you kiss your mother-in-law. Clara, Luper at 672-1220. This is my Christmas special that is dedicated for you. Now let's spend some minutes with NACP Youth Council. So many of you want to know, what are we doing? And I will give you a report on the cases that NACP Youth Council has looked at during the past week. In the first place, last week we were wrestling with the problem of cities that did not celebrate or did not recognize Martin Luther King's birthday as a holiday. We were so proud of the following cities: Oklahoma City, Edmond, Forest Park, Moore, Piedmont, Spencer, and the Village. We were not proud of Midwest City, Nakoma Park, Norman, Bethany, Nichols Hills, Valley Brook, War Acres, and Yukon. And we started working. If you can remember last year, after Martin Luther King's birthday, we divided ourselves into committees and wrote these various cities. And we will let you know next week exactly where we are at Norman. But this week, we had the opportunity to sit down with the city manager, the personnel director in Midwest City. We had the opportunity to talk to them about the problems, and they related to us that it will be recommended to the City Council on January the 8th, and that's Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., that Martin Luther King's birthday be recognized as a city holiday. It will be recognized in the same way that the Veterans Day, President Day, Columbus Day will be. Now, there was one point that we brought out in this meeting. In the first place, Martin Luther King's birthday is the only birthday that represents what America is all about. It was not the black people in America that wrote these eternal words, all men are created equal. That was written by a white man who happened to be a slave owner, Thomas Jefferson. Now here, years later, Martin Luther King picked it up and said, now we're going to make the Declaration of Independence a reality. Martin Luther King's Day says to the Constitution of the United States, that was written by 55 white men in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which stated, we the people, in order to do certain basic things. And then we were asked, why not Thanksgiving? Now, anybody that's a student of history know that black people, the slaves, didn't get to rest and rejoice on Thanksgiving. They had to work on Thanksgiving Day. And then you say, I want the Martin Luther King on the same level as Veterans Day. You've got to remember that at the beginning of this country's history, it was very difficult for blacks to serve in various branches of the army. You've got to remember it was not until President Harry Truman that blacks were recognized in the army as first-class citizens. You've got to remember that on Veterans Day, many people turn the pages of history back and they hear an Abraham Lincoln at the beginning of the Civil War saying that I will not accept blacks in the army. It was a difficult day. And then you're talking about New Year's Day and how you celebrate that. You've got to remember that during slavery, the slaves realized that this was another year of slavery. And during the long nightmare of segregation, you've got to remember that New Year meant hog-head cheese, hog feet, and another year of segregation. It was Martin Luther King, though, that brought to America the spice of America. Well, we will be in Midwest City on January the 8th, and we will see a city that, according to the city manager, Mr. Johnson, the personnel director who will be moving forward. Now, within the Martin Luther King's holiday, and within its content, we had the opportunity to look at other problems that we were faced with in Midwest City. Did you know that in Midwest City, you have 88 firemen? You have only one black fireman? Did you know that in Midwest City, you have 99 police officers and only 3 black ones? No wonder then that the Martin Luther King Day becomes more than a day to celebrate, because it becomes a day when you have the opportunity in Midwest City to go and apply as a fireman, as a police officer, and in other ways. We have an administrative assistant to the city manager who's black in Midwest City, Ron Smith, and we are very proud of that. I asked Ron if he's going to take off on Martin Luther King's Day, and before I could ask him, he says, yes, I'm taking off. Thank you, Ron. And we're going to see how many others will follow the example of people all over this nation. Martin Luther King has given us something to hold on to dream about, and has given America a chance to put real meaning in words. Our next case this week was a disappointing case because it came from a Christian college, an Oklahoma Christian college, a college that's known to spread the word of the Christ that was born. But out of Oklahoma Christian College, on the pages of an Underground Railroad paper published by our club, there was old Jim Crow. There was an article that stated that we don't mind blacks coming here playing ball, but don't date our women. It was also a picture of what was known as black rowdy Negroes and where they would sit in certain areas. And the young people out there were disappointed. They were disappointed because the leadership did not come forward as they expected. But to those young people, I want you to know that NACP is not going to leave you alone. We can read too. We read an apology that apologized in one paragraph and then reiterated the statement in another one. Oklahoma Christian College, here we come. This week we also had the opportunity to look at some things that you probably would not even dream that's happening in Oklahoma City, as it related to the Sheraton Hotel that was told to you last week, as it relates to black books that have been thrown away, as it relates to a black woman who went to the store and came back with a little package, and today she's in jail for robbing a store on 19th and MacArthur, and under one of the highest bonds that you will ever think of. How could this little lady, 23 years old, with nothing in her hands, rob a store? But somebody out there said all blacks look alike. This is the Clara Luper radio show reporting on NACP youth activities this week. Now, I'm not talking about next week. I'm talking about this week. And we should point out that Dave Herbert, the senator from the Midwest City area, worked very hard to help us in this area. What else is going on? Well, as we look through this week, we see nothing but segregation with its ugly head in state government, in city government, and all. But it's Christmas, and Christmas brings to us a message of hope, a message of joy. It's Christmas time. And in a few minutes, Lady Ruth Hunter will call us and tell us about Miss Merry Christmas 1990. And I will have to tell you that it was Christmas time at Clara Waters on Thursday night. And I had the opportunity to hear Reverend Charles Douglas, the pastor of the Antioch Institutional Church, deliver a Christmas message, and it came to pass. I saw those that have been victims of circumstances go up and ask for prayer. It was one of the most beautiful ceremonies that I have ever seen. And one cannot forget the voices of Victoria, the voice of a Vernon Dangerfield, of Valina Patterson. No one can forget Valerie Harris and Valina Davenport. No one can forget. And it came to pass. A wonderful message. Holiday greetings are extended to each one of you, and for the last time I shall call the name of the bachelors, and next week I shall announce the 3 top bachelors and will give you the opportunity to vote on radio. What an occasion. Don't miss the Clara Luper's last program of the year. This portion of our program is brought to you by the Flower Shop, located at 1705 North Broadway Avenue here in Oklahoma City. You may call 528-1608, and that's a flower shop located here in Oklahoma City. I have told you about marriages. I have told you that a marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman who have made a legal agreement to live together. When a man and a wife marry, they become husband and wife. And tonight, Jesse and Lorene Battle will celebrate their 50th anniversary at Alberta's Tea Room. Can you imagine being married for 50 years? Well, Lorene Ballard and Jesse Battle have had that experience. And from all of us here at KTLV, we congratulate Lorene and Jesse. We hope you 50 more years of success, because if you can stay together for 50 years, certainly you will stay together for 50 more. You may call 672-1220. Now, some of you have called me and said, I didn't say anything about you being married for 50 years. I didn't know you had been married for 50 years. I didn't know that. If I had known it, I would have told it. I'm not a refrigerator. I'm not supposed to keep anything. The Bachelors of the Year: Thurman White, Leonard Sanders, DeSoto Valentine, Leon Rose, Wallace Johnson, Kermit Parker, Walter Seward, Curly Sloss Jr., A.L. Dial, Earl Cooper, Frederick Dermanson Jr., Jim Smith, Vernon Dangerfield, Alfred M. Luster Jr., Calvin Luper, F.D. Lawson, L.J. Pogue, Leo Smith, David Hall, Calvin Whitaker, Thomas Watkins, Leroy Parks, Charles Parker, Welburn Richmond, John Galloway, Robert Shelley, Lloyd Ventures, Overton Wilson, Billy Garrett, Michael Surd, James Shortridge, Larry Franklin, Terry Spagner, Chrizzo Meadows, Louis Abels, and Bobby Battle. Now, those of you that's lucky enough to catch some of these bachelors, including Kermit James, you got a catch. You won't have to worry about that turkey for Christmas. You don't have to worry about that turkey for Christmas. You will be set up. Not only will you get a turkey, you will even get a Cornish hen if you can catch one of these bachelors. If you don't like a Cornish hen, you can even get you a turkey. But I guess you still got some of your old turkeys from some of your turkey, and it's old now from Thanksgiving. That's all right. Serve it anyway. What are you doing for Christmas? On Christmas, my family will meet out to Merlin's for our annual Christmas dinner. And to all of the shepherds and Germanys and others, remember, it's our day. This portion of our program is brought to you by your Allstate insurance agent, who says to you, wherever you are, Merry Christmas, and Calvin is here to bring greetings from Allstate.
From Allstate Insurance, but also I want to send out a very special Merry Christmas greetings from Sonora Adams, and she sends out the greetings and well wishes to our parents, Reverend and Mrs. J.D. Burnley, and to the Adams, Baldwin, and Butler families, all her children, Pastor DeWitt, Rowland, and his family, and to all the members of St. Luke Baptist Church and the armed forces, many of whom are currently in Saudi Arabia. That's from Sonora Adams, and she's wishing all of us, everyone, a very special Merry Christmas. Say, but you know, at the Allstate office, I don't know, we want to invite all of you to come out within the next 30, 60 days. Merlin Hildred's office is the best staffed office in the entire nation, in the entire region. With your continued help during the year 1991, we will reach that goal. If Merle was here, she'd probably be rocking and rolling and telling you what all we plan on doing. But I think I can say, and I know I can speak for Regina, who is the office manager, Carolyn, who is the office secretary, Merlin, Teresa, all of us who work there, that we want to make sure that you are covered for all of your insurance needs, that your home insurance is correct and at the best buy possible, that your life insurance fits the growing needs of your family, that your auto insurance takes care of the many possibilities that could happen in your auto, that if you want to build a portfolio. But the best thing to do is to call us at 755-7252 and become an Allstate client. And, we can give you quotes on things, and it really doesn't cost you to call, so that'd be worth a quarter. So as you go through this holiday, as you look around you and see your family grow, become a part of the Allstate family. Merlin Hildred would love to be your agent. Also, Sir Charles the Tailor would like to send out a special Merry Christmas greetings to all and Happy New Year. Sir Charles the Tailor specializes in suits and alterations. Sir Charles the Tailor is located at 6225 Southeast 15th Street, Midwest City, Oklahoma. Now, for further information or for that appointment that you probably will need during this busy time of the year, you can call him at 733-7600. Now, back to Clara.
Thank you. And it's Miss Merry Christmas time, and here's our ace reporter, Lady Ruth Hunter.
Good morning, radio audience, and hello to everyone. This is KTLZ radio station, which is 1220, I believe, is on your dial. I want to say a happy Christmas and also a Merry New Year. Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year. And Ms. Luper, I'd like to report to you about the wonderful affair, Miss Merry Christmas pageant, that was held on last week. And I'd like to give to you the winners of the awards that was presented that night. We did have a lovely program, and I shall say that the theme is Let the River Run and Let All the Dreamers Wake the Nation. And those dreamers really did awake the nation on 15th. We presented our Zeta Quality Award, and that award went to Vicki Walters. The Zeta chapter, the Zeta sorority, I should say. They always present awards to their contestants, and those awards were this community involvement, and that went to Aisha Richardson, and the scholarship, Rhonda Corner. And a Womanhood Award went to Shelley Luper. This Community Service Award went to Michelle Williams. And Miss Lab Award went to Thomasine Allen. Those were the awards that the Zeta sorority presented to the contestants. We were so happy that we did have these contestants in. I know you're waiting to see who were the winners. Who were the winners? The second runner-up was Rhonda Corner. Then the first runner-up was Aisha Richardson. Now, Miss Luper, are you on the edge wanting me to hurry up and say who Miss Merry Christmas was?
Yes, please.
Well, here I go. It was none other than the wonderful and beautiful and attractive Shelley Luper. Shelley Luper is our Miss Merry Christmas for this year. And everyone was so happy to have Shelley Luper. We were all on edge and wondering who's going to win, because we had so many beautiful girls there to win. And when Shelley won, I just could not believe it. I just smiled all over, and everyone in the audience just stood and applauded. We were just happy because all the girls to us were winners. They stepped out for themselves.
Well, thank you, Letty. And remember, I want an egg custard for Christmas.
Mrs. Luper, all you need to do is put your order in.
I'm putting my order in, but I don't want one like mine that has water at the bottom.
Oh, look, I got to teach you how to cook egg custard.
And I'm having trouble with my cakes, too.
Good.
Thank you, Letty. And I want you to know that we expected a very special guest, and he's on his way if he will make it. In the meantime, back to Calvin.
To all those young, beautiful, talented Miss Merry Christmas contestants, and a special congratulations to the members of the Zeta Phi Beta That sorority is doing an outstanding job with the Miss Merry Christmas pageant, and we really want to congratulate you and encourage you to keep on keeping on, because you're serving as shining lights to all of the young ladies in our great community.
It's time now, Calvin. It's time now for the great debate.
It's time now for the great debate. You know, before we start this debate, I think that maybe we ought to give the radio listening audience just a little insight as to what's happening. You can call us at 672-1220 with any of your Christmas greetings and with your comments about the great debate. The great debate. What will this debate be about? The debate will be about the future and the teaching habits of our young people in Oklahoma City School District. The two people who will be debating will be the Honorable Eric H. Brown, Reverend Eric H. Brown. He will be debating Sister Clara Luper. Sister Clara Luper and Eric Brown, welcome to a visit with the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Thank you so much, Calvin and Mrs. Luper, for giving me the opportunity to be here this morning.
Absolutely right. And
I'm Clara Luper, a retired teacher in Oklahoma City.
I was getting ready to ask you that. How long have you been retired?
I retired in 1989, and I'm very upset about
Just 1 minute. Eric Brown, are you currently in the Oklahoma City public school system?
No, I'm a local minister here in Oklahoma City.
A local,
but a concerned minister for the public education in our city.
Okay, that takes care of our qualification for our guests. So we have Eric Brown, a concerned minister who currently is serving on the textbook committee for the Oklahoma City public school system. We also have Clara Luper, who is a retired history teacher. The book that we will be discussing will be The Panorama of Oklahoma. Now this is what one of you kind of explain to me what the Panorama of Oklahoma book is all about.
Let Mr. Reverend Brown explain it. He was one of the committee members that voted for the book.
Well,
Panorama of Oklahoma is supposed to be a book about the history of Oklahoma. As a member of the task force myself, I must admit that Panorama of Oklahoma was not the best book chosen to teach Oklahoma history.
It was a worse one.
And I can concur with that. I didn't see the book to a great extent. I got 5 minutes to look at the book at the time it was being presented at the presentations of the publishers in a Saturday meeting in April. My only complaint about the book, and there are others, and matter of fact, Mrs. Luper has shown me there's a lot wrong with the book. My only complaint about the book was that it only had 1 page of black history in it, and but that was enough for me not to like the book.
Okay, now you all kind of jumped ahead there. I know we're running short on time, but the book is The Panorama of Oklahoma. It's about black history. It's about history of Oklahoma. You as a member of the committee only had a limited amount of time to review the book. How then was the book chosen to be used as a textbook?
First of all, the book was chosen by a subcommittee of the state board who gave a list of potential Oklahoma history books. There are, I think, about 5. Then there was a subcommittee in Oklahoma City, as part a subcommittee of the task force, which looked at the Oklahoma history books, They chose the top 2. The top 2 were then presented to the whole task force in a Saturday afternoon meeting. It was a 7-hour. We spent 7 hours Saturday at the administration building having these books presented to us, not just Oklahoma history, but 8 subjects of books were presented to us in this Saturday meeting. And it was approved by the complete task force Saturday afternoon.
Calvin, this is what's wrong with the book. In the first place, the book was selected by people that were not qualified to understand Oklahoma history. On a state level, a first grade teacher and a third grade teacher was a member of the evaluating committee. In Oklahoma City, you had members that were predominantly white, and then there were also some blacks, I call them oleos, who participated in it, because these black people, if they had 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour to look at the book, they knew it was nothing in there about blacks in the book. When they are depriving the white students of the opportunity of learning about black people are great people. Tell me of one character in Oklahoma history that could surpass a Roscoe Dunjee. Tell me about those first blacks. Tell me about the blacks that ran in the run. You study history, you don't read about them. You read about giraffes. You read about rats, one rat on top of another rat. You don't read nothing. And I think it was a disgrace that the people in Oklahoma would accept that for a textbook.
Reverend Brown, do you have any comments?
My only comment is this. There are extreme problems in the Oklahoma City public school system, beginning with Arthur Steller on down. My war right now is with Arthur Steller. Mrs. Luper is ashamed of me, so to speak, because I signed the approval sheet with the rest of the task force, even though I was against the book. My war right now is not with the teachers, and I am happy to take the fall with the teachers for that one mistake that they made out of that whole day and out of picking over 20 textbooks to be used in Oklahoma City public school system. I don't want to be used to call attention to myself to be a hero or macho man or anything like that. I'd rather take the fall with the teachers so that nobody can use my name to humiliate the teachers for that one mistake. My war is with Arthur Steller, and when we get rid of him, then I'll deal with the problems that we have with our teachers.
But Arthur Steller did not sign this statement here recommending all white and partly Indian textbook. My debate now is not with Steller, but it's with the members of the committee that should have stood up and said we will not have this book in the Oklahoma City school system. And the tragedy is it will be 5 years before you have another chance to select a book. That's a tragedy.
Exactly. So you must trust the teachers to be able to use that book. And
I don't trust the teachers. I don't trust the teachers.
Oh, but you should, because they're the only ones we got. You have to trust the teachers to do the best they can with that book since it's already been approved.
I trust the teachers to put that book in the wastebasket and get some books that are, according to the guidelines that you have, must represent all people.
And hopefully they'll do that in 1995. I don't think there's anything you can do about the book before then.
I can talk about it, and
that's it. And I want you to talk
I can
about
do more than talk
and
about
I want
it.
you to do
I
that.
think the people in Oklahoma should demand that blacks are in that book.
And I hope they do, because it should be.
Well, you're saying in 1995 will be the first opportunity that we, the public,
No. The
will
public
have an opportunity to
The public should
put any. Wait, does the public have any opportunity to put any input into the committee?
Yes, let me put it like this. Any adult Oklahoma City resident can be on the task force.
Well, it won't do any good if they did like the blacks that were on there before.
But the point is that if you know what you want in the history book, you should be there on the task force to see that those books. Mrs. Luper would have probably been instrumental in seeing that book didn't get passed. I would have liked to have seen Mrs. Luper on the task force.
I would have done just like the senators on the
I'm not
floor.
interested in debate. I'm interested in getting the job done.
Oh, you got the job. You got the job done, Reverend, when you signed your name that book was okay.
And like I said, that's fine. I support the
And
teachers
not only
right or
you,
wrong.
let me
I
read-
must support
well, I
them
don't
until
support
I
the
do my other
teachers.
war.
I don't support the teachers right or wrong, because if teachers are wrong, we got teachers that are sending young people home for weeks. I don't support them. The kids are sent to school to be taught, and if you can't handle them, you should get out the profession. Then other members of the committee that signed in Oklahoma City, and I have a copy of it, Don McDaniels, Eric Brown, son of Hunter, Roy W. Archer, Ron Miller, Ann Keeney, I think, Cindy Foote, Deborah Thomas, and that's a principal, assistant principal at Douglas High School, Calvin, and also Maurice Daniels. Our time is up because it's Christmas time. Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you, but I'm really glad to see the discussion come out. But then I hate to wait 5 years for a solution, but I'm certain that if we the public, we the teachers, and we those interested in being a part of our educational system were somehow or other get together and come forward with a positive program and a new textbook, that all of our children over the next 5 years will be taught a really true outlook of Oklahoma history.
This is Christmas time. For Christmas, I would like to ask each one of you to help us be a Freedom Center. We need your help now, and when I say Freedom Center, I mean the monument. And I would like to thank Ms. Izoria Robertson for getting on that $100 list. And many of you out there in Radio Land, if we have about 70 more of you to give us $100 or $10 a Christmas, I provide you with the best in bringing you a Christmas message. And today our message will come from Chaplain Harvey L. Simpson of the Pastoral
of situations. In turning to God, the prophet is able to hold on to the vision of a world where injustice, oppression, sinfulness, and deceit will give way, will open the door to righteousness, goodness, peace, and love. The prophet is certain of that, for in his crying out to God he has heard the words, "Fear not, Habakkuk, for it will not be long. I want you to know, my prophet, that I have heard you and that I will come to your rescue in due time." Be patient, Habakkuk. I have not forsaken you. That I will never do. Just hold on and trust me. Trust me, Habakkuk. The prophecy of Habakkuk and the situation that he found himself in, my people, is very similar to ours, yours and mine. In America today, and not only in America, but across the world, there is injustice. My Lord, so many of you out there this Christmas season are crying out, as Habakkuk cried out, for you are angry, you're tired, you're scared, you're frightened, for you're not sure what this Christmas season will bring you. You're not sure what it is that God has in store for you. Yes, your situation, my situation, is similar to that of Habakkuk. But don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Hold on, trust God. For when it seems as if he is nowhere to be found, it is then that he